Hello friends, welcome to the session 3 of Blender Basics that we started few days back. Give me a moment, I need to fix few things. Okay, Blender is open in front of you. Hope you are able to see my screen. Let's start quickly with the basic modeling. I have already explained in previous sessions that how you can handle Blender UI. So let's have a recap quickly. Again, shift plus middle mouse is like panning, middle mouse is orbiting, control plus middle mouse and moving mouse is zooming zoom out. Why I'm giving a quick overview, because every time if you are new to Blender, you might start thinking what was the key, how you can start. So just a quick overview. Rest of the things I hope you are able to recall. I was bit occupied in last few days, so couldn't arrange this session. Once we will pick up the rhythm, potentially I will not skip any session, I will go in flow. So today we are going to create few easy objects, I will say. Since we are familiar about this object mode and edit mode, we know few tools also here, so we will utilize those tools and create few actual objects. Like last day I created table, but that was very roughly done just for the demonstration and explaining few tools. But today I think it's time to go for our first model that we can create. So let me show you. I will take a pause for a moment. Just give me a minute. I need to pause some notification that I'm getting quickly that might interrupt in between. So I'm just quickly stopping those notification for the timing. Okay, it's done. So again, let's focus on our modeling stuff. Here what I need to bring one reference. Hope you are aware how you can switch between different views. So one is front, 3 is right, control 1 is back, and control 3 is like left. I will go to front view. I have to one okay, we will not add the reference in the view, we will add it in camera. I am removing all these default items that is not needed. We will try to match the camera also. So let's add one reference. First of all, how you can add the reference in front view. So here, go to front view, press 1, shift A. You have various option for object creation. Like you have meshes, you can draw the plane, cube, circle, UV sphere, iso sphere, and cylinder, cone, torus, grid, and the rest of the item that is given. In the similar way, we will explain we will go through the curve. So Bezier curve, circle curve, we'll go one by one. Then you have some surface related things here: metaballs, text, volume, grease pencil, and then armature, and lattice. Then empty, You have few items in empty, so we'll explore these items a bit later. Then we have images, references. Okay, basically I was looking for this option, but I just wanted to give a quick overview that what are the other stuff that is there. So basically, since we are going to add a reference in front view, so here you have to come again, note it down, shift A, reference, image reference. Now you have option to pick your reference. You can find this option here also, add image reference. Either shift A, image reference, or add image reference. So this is a shortcut. Let me check my downloads if I have some images that I can add. I'll go to thumbnail view. Okay, so basically we are going to create this object that I have searched for this session. This is a barrel, and you must have seen in many games, but this is not the older one that you usually see in the games. So basically, since I'm going to explain the process of modeling, so I have opted the new one in which majority of the details are visible. Okay, in order to create this, I mean, there are two ways to add references. One is in the front view, but if you see, this is not the actual front of your image. This is already perspective. So if you want to create properly snapped like object like this on this reference, you will have to match the camera also. They must have used a camera to click from this angle. So till here I think I have already explained how you can add the reference in front view, but in this session I will be not using this reference in front view. I will go a bit you can say in detail, right? And what I will do, I will add the reference in the camera itself, so that we will manipulate the things by looking through camera, so that we will be getting the actual perspective. We will be snapping our object over the reference as well. So basically I want to align my 3D model with that reference at the same camera angle. So how you can do that? Again, I'm in front. I will add a camera first. This is a reference addition option that you can opt as per your need. We will use this also for in some different scenario, but for the timing, let's try by adding your reference in the camera. So right now we have a camera. I've just added it from add camera, or you can do shift A, camera. I will move it a bit in y-axis. You can see this camera icon here. So basically this is again camera setting, you can say. I will click on this. You can see this background images. We will add the image here. Click on this. This is a collapsible menu. Now you have option to add image. Add image. So you can see this open option. Click on this open image option. Again I will go to download and add it. Now that image is added, and let's see through camera that how that image is looking. I will press 0 to see through camera. OMG, this is completely squeezed. I don't want it like this. So in this case, see, if I have to jump to the modeling directly, this is a very quick thing. But here I want to go through this actual process, that if someone says that you have to create this model and it should accurately align on the given reference. And if I have to cross check that the model you have created is actually replicating the same proportion and volume from the reference or not, I will be asking for the alignment image, that create one alignment image where it is like properly following the reference image that is visible. So that is needed. So I mean, right now I think I'm going to use one add-on for a quick camera matching that you can find in marketplaces. Again, I'm not promoting that add-on, but since it is simplifying the process, so I will be using that one. If you press N, how to add add-on, again this topic might be completely new. So if you go to edit preferences, here you will find add-on tab, and in marketplaces there are various add-ons are available, so you can download those things, and in order to install, just click on install from disk. Wherever you have downloaded, select it from that path, that will get installed. I myself have created few add-ons like this Lord Generator version 2.0, so in the similar way this has been installed. So in the similar way I found one add-on that is called let me see if it is there. Yeah, P plotter, perspective plotter. So this one I have installed. You can also find it in the marketplace and install it for quick matching. I will click on this. Its interface looks like this, and this is a bit advanced, but no need to worry. If you feel that this is like becoming way too complex in the session 3, we will do the same object without using this plugin also. Just let me know in the comment. So if you search perspective plotter, you will find it over the internet. So just get it and download it and add it through the same edit preferences add-on option. If I click on this, you can see this is looking red. If I click on this, background unmatched, so now it is matching. Now as a next step, I have to match the perspective. See, first of all, right now I'm seeing it through camera, right? Like how we were seeing it in the front view. Now you must be curious why I am following that, seeing it through camera. I will show you the differences. Let's first understand the basics, that why we have to look through a camera. Again, I'm not emphasizing this part. It can be done without camera also, but here things will be more aligning through a workflow or a methodology. That's why I'm looking it through camera. Okay, let's go to front. This is front. Add a cylinder. Since the object we have to create is cylindrical in shape, so we will be using a cylinder. And as I have mentioned, whenever you draw any object, you can get all the settings here. So let's reduce the number of vertices to 16. You can see the difference. Let me add it again. Mesh, cylinder. See, this is increasing the subdivision of this cylinder or decreasing the subdivision of cylinder. So I will not make the mesh very dense. Let's stick around 16. Still it is looking rounded. So this is front view. Let me add the reference here so that I can show you the difference. Why not front view? Why we have to look it through camera? See, the upper region of this cylinder is visible. The image is clicked in a way so that the top view of this barrel is visible, but the way we have drawn our cylinder, this is complete front, orthographic front, so we are not able to see the top view. Let's consider this is a barrel that we have made. Let me scale it of the similar length. Okay, let's assume this is the same barrel. Where is the top? That's not visible. In order to make it visible, you will have to rotate it like this. But again, we are doing it in orthographic, and orthographic is always different from perspective. This doesn't give the real world view to you. If you want to see the real world view, we'll have to see everything in perspective. So if you are looking outside or inside any object in real world, you see the things in a perspective view. So let me do Control Z, and now I will remove this reference from the front view, and I will go to camera view. Now you can see this is going somewhere here. First of all, I'm trying to match perspective. Once that is done, then I just have to add these details and this model is ready. So this matching the perspective might take 4 to 5 minutes, or even less than that or more than that. So let's try it out if we can match it quickly. Okay, I will click on this plot perspective. It is saying invalid configuration, so let's make it 1. It has 3 different settings, so I will go 1 point perspective. Now I'm getting a bit similar result to my reference image, and I have few lines here to adjust the perspective. This is just I'm matching the camera, nothing advanced I'm doing here. It has given me few controls, like, and I can match it properly. See, once the camera is matched, I think we can cover the model quickly. Let me scale it a bit, and let me make it transparent so that it is visible. Let me enable the wireframe also. Okay, so from here the cap region is starting, and now we will start matching it. I will scale it even a bit, pull it down, and now let's fixing it. Probably it is not matching in 1 point. Top is matching, but this bottom region is still not matching. So what we can do, let's try 2 point. Oops. These things take a bit time. Oh, this is going beyond the control. Let's just stick to this 1 point. Okay, this is a bit closer, but I think I need to reduce the overall height. Wait, I'm just checking that I'm in right view or not. Okay, I think this camera angle is creating problem. Let's create it in front view. We will see this thing later on. So let me remove this camera thing, and I will quickly go to front view and add it as a reference, because that is creating some problem, it seems. Right now it's not working, but I will use measurely that tool itself. In every assets we will be using that tool, and we will be creating, and we will be aligning the created model with the reference in majority of the cases using that tool. But for now, for the timing, let's stick to this front view one, and we will try to just understand that how things work. Here I am not aligning it, because I do not want to complicate the session unnecessarily. I know, like, majority of the people are beginner here, so you all might get confused. Let's match the volume here quickly. See, this is close to this, like you can see the volume is matching. For the timing, we will focus on understanding the tools a bit better instead of like complicating the things over there. So let's consider like this is the right volume for the current requirement, and like this is the right height of the barrel. Now we just have to add the details. So in order to add the details, what I will do, I will press tab. In order, I will go to edit mode. You have this loop cut. You can start adding more loops. You have this slide as tool that we have used last day. So we will put a loop over here. You can add another loop. Okay, let's create first this. I can see like half of the barrel is mirror of this top half. So let's create in that way. Like we will create half of the barrel and then mirror it. You have to analyze the given object and then create it. So basically, as you can see, in order to make the entire selection, this transparent mode is X-ray mode is enabled, and I made a selection. I'm still in front view. I will delete the remaining part. Delete faces, and I will focus on half of the barrel, and then I will simply mirror it. Okay, so now let's add another loop, and again slide as tool. I will add it here at this point. Now in order to make it like this, you need to add few more loops, so I will bevel it. Control B is the shortcut. See, I'm just focusing on the center region of this shape. Probably this is this much wider, and then additionally, I mean, I was moving my cursor so that it got split it into two entire loop cuts over here. And once this is done, I mean, once I was satisfied with the width, I clicked in the I did a left click over there, so now this is created. You can control these widths from this setting also. See, so it was 0.45, 0.045. Yeah, this was the right value. Let's make it 0.04. Okay, now additionally I will add one more loop cut here, and in order to make it a bit wider, press S. Now you're in scale mode and you can start scaling. You can see this is done. In the similar way, I will not create this barrel in very detailed mode. I'm just creating it like the basic shapes, so that you can understand how Blender works, how tools work, and how we have to create the model. I will bevel it again Control B, start moving your mouse so that I can add a bit of roundness. See, right now still this is not rounded, so what you can do, you can increase the number of edges. Now this will become a bit rounded on the top, you can see. Even if you want, you can increase the distribution distance. See, it is more rounded. In the similar way, let's add all of this extrusion part. So let me add one more. Okay, I need 4, so let's 2, 3. I just need 4 loops here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's add these 4s. Alt click on the loop to select it entirely. Hope you are able to recall. And since this shape is very straight, so I don't need this slide as tool. I can move it here. Again, alt click, move it here. Alt left click, move it here. Alt left click, move it here. We need one more. Okay, let's add one more. Move it here. You can add it at equal distance also, but I'm not going in that route. I'm simply like following the references. We don't have any precision or value based measurement at what distance we should follow, but we can keep the distances equal as well. But for the timing, let's stick to the reference. I think we did one mistake over here. It is just 4. This is the starting point of this. So let's do a bit of adjustment. I will remove this one. Alt click, move it here. This is the extrusion part. I think I aligned all the edges on this one, but I wanted it to be in center so that I can simply bevel it and scale it out. Okay, so again select this one and this is the bevel region, the extrusion region. Again I will move it here. This is the extrusion region. Select this one. This is the center of this extrusion. Now it is 4. That's why I was getting confused that why it is looking 5 to me. So let's stick to 4 only. Otherwise we might create wrong model. So you have to be very, I mean, your observations should be very focused while creating. Otherwise you can make similar mistake like I made. Now as a next step, I need to add some more edges here, so that those edges will hold the volume, I mean existing volume of this barrel, and then we will scale it out, and then we will bevel this center one again. So let's add some more here. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5. Now I think we need to move these ones on the beginning point of these lines. Again this one at the beginning point of these lines. Okay, done. Now select this one, scale it out. This one, scale it out. Okay, I left 2 here, so that's a mistake. Just leave one more, like you just have to scale the alternate one. Done. Again select the alternate one. Done. Let's look it into perspective how it is looking. Oh, nice. Now you have to select all of these centered one. So I am holding Shift plus Alt, that is already visible, and then Control B. Start moving your mouse. I think this is fine. Okay, let's stick to this one, and let's check it in perspective again how it is looking. Okay, this is nice. If you right click and say shade smooth, see this is like a very low poly detail that we have just created. Okay, let's create this top details also. So again I will right click and say shade flat, so that I can identify the edges points easily. Okay, since we have this cap, I mean it is not, these edges are not connecting to this cap region, I will delete this one. I will go to face mode and delete. Now this is the open barrel from top as well. Again I will go to front and select this edge, press 2, go to edge mode, select this edge, and then E is the shortcut to extrude. Click and I will move. Why I click? Because I wanted to move it in one axis. If I press E and then if I move, it will get extruded, but again you will have to be cautious about the axis. Now it has this much of depth, and that is very sharp and straight, and this region is getting I mean having some extrusion outside like these shapes, but it is also very sharp. What we can do, let's do one thing. Click this. I made a selection by pressing Ctrl plus, because this Okay, how you can grow selection. So let's learn this as well. Select this as loop completely, alt click, then control plus. Now keep clicking on control plus, it will keep adding next loop. Now I'm subtracting. Okay, alt click, control plus, now press 3, you are in face mode. Here also we can extrude it. We can bevel it also. Okay, let's do it differently. Since I have to make it rounded instead of extruding and then going that route, I will add another edge in center as loop in center. Make a selection, press S, scale it. So this is like almost rounded, half circle. So now I have this. I will press Ctrl B to bevel this one. Click and I will start beveling. This is similar to that. If you want to make this one a bit more sharper on the top, you can move it a bit. Now I will select this loop and press E, then S, and then move your mouse. I added another loop by extruding it. Now I have to create this depth, so simply again press E to extrude. I will click, left click, and I will move this down. Okay, so I added similar depth. Now I have to fill this gap. I will simply press E, then S. I will start moving my mouse. Since we have to create this gap, okay, first let's finish this one, then we will worry about the gap. So I will extrude it again. I will extrude it again in the similar way, and I will merge it in center. I have two additional edges here that will be useful later on. When we will create this barrel opening and all. But for the timing, I hope you are clear that how things work. Now we have to mirror this at the bottom, but before mirroring I want to make sure that I have done all the detailings in these regions so that it looks nice. And I will skip this cap part for the time being, and I will simply mirror it, and then we will wrap up this session, and in the next session I will cover this cap part. So let's start creating. Let's apply subdivision on this and see how it looks. Subdivision surface, make it shade as smooth. This is a modifier, how you can add it. Let me repeat it again. Right now I am in shade as smooth mode. Right click, shade as smooth. Then you can see this modifier properties. Go here, add modifier, search. You can search here sub, so subdivision surface. I opted for this one. This is giving what it is actually doing. It is adding additional poly count to it. You can define the number of division as well. how it is adding poly count to it, there should be a question here. So let me do Control Z again. So right now no subdivision modifier is applied, and the wireframe looks like this. Let me add one. Now I will apply it. See how it is dividing. But right now what I can see, these are very sharp, especially at the origin point of it, I can say. So let's make it a bit sharp. I will remove this subdivision again. I will select all the origin point of these extrusions. Again I will leave 3, select this one, select this one, select this one, and I will bevel it again 0.001, no, 0.002. Let's go a bit closer. I think this is fine. This should be fine. Now let's add some more subdivision over here. Control B, 0.002. Okay. Now let's make this region also a bit sharper and smoother at the same time. So 0.002. See, I'm adding two extra segment. You can add one also. Now when I'm applying subdivision, I want to maintain this sharp cut also. So let's add some subdivision here. 0.002. Now these all are a bit sharper. Shade smooth. Remove this wireframe view. See, now it is like a bit sharper. Now if you add subdivision, that look will be amazing. You can increase the subdivision also, but usually in games we will not subdivide it, otherwise it will increase the poly count and there will be a performance issue over there. So usually in games we will keep it low poly. So I hope it is clear till here that how we are achieving the shapes. Now let's mirror it and see how it looks. Again, make sure your pivot point is in the center of, at the bottom, because we are going to mirror it in g-axis. So let's add mirror. X-axis I don't want to mirror, g-axis. Yeah, done. Let's check it if it is similar to our reference or not. We are almost there. Only this barrel opening part is missing, that we will try to create in the next session. Let me explain the mirror so that you can be very clear that how mirror works. I think in last session also I covered it. I'm not able to recall. So let's do it here. Let me do Control Z. Right now the mirror is removed. Go to 1. Now I will remove this, or not remove this, I will hide this reference also, not needed. So now you have to mirror. Basically, when you use mirror, it works like how things work in real world, and it is very much dependent on these pivot positions. So let's say my pivot is here in the center. What will happen if I mirror it? It will start the mirror image from there itself. Let me show you. Origin to geometry. So right now the pivot is in the center of this object. Now if I apply mirror, see, it started mirror image from there itself. Let's say pivot point is somewhere not here at the required place, how you can bring it there? So let me remove it. Right now pivot point is here, but I have to bring it here. How I can do this? Go here. You can see this tool option. This is not a add-on, this is the default Blender one, so no need to worry. I don't want you to get confused with the add-ons for now. And again, there was a struggle with setting the camera, looking through camera and matching the perspective, so we will do that in some different session. At the end, like, I have to match it with the given reference. Right now this is roughly, it is having the shape of the barrel, but I need to check alignment, so we'll cover those things a little bit later on. How you can set the pivot, that is the question here in the current scenario. So you can see this origin option, just click on this origin. Now if you move your pivot, your object will not move, only your pivot is moving. So let's bring your pivot here, go a bit more closer, shift plus middle mouse, and go a bit more closer and add your pivot here. Once your pivot position is set, you just disable this again. Now your pivot is here. Once this is disabled, if you are moving it by your pivot, your object will move. Now add mirror. It is pretty much simple. Done. It is creating a pinching here because by mistake 2 axes are enabled, so it is mirroring in G also and X also. So let's disable this X, that is not needed. Now this look like a barrel, but the cap region is missing. Here additional one thing I would like to explain about the modifiers, since we have started using modifiers. If you do not want to see the modifier result here, you can disable it from here. See, modifier is applied, but the result is not getting shown in the viewport. In the similar way, you can enable it from here. See, if I don't want to see the result of subdivision, I can do it. So I hope you are getting clear with the process. Let me enable the reference. Let's move this side by side so that we can make a quick comparison. Yeah, we are getting close to this barrel. I think these things are more pronounced in our asset, so probably we can resolve that and we can create this barrel opening as well. So let's do this barrel opening in next session. For the time being, let's wrap up. I think this would be more than enough for this session. Basically, you need to practice it as much as you can, otherwise you will not be very handy to Blender. I know the struggle and pain points because I have migrated from 3ds Max. Initially I was using Maya, then I moved to 3ds Max. I used 3ds Max almost for 12 years. Then I got a research project in between where I had to research on cycles in Blender, and that was the struggling phase of using Blender. I had to import model, then create a render and compare it with the V-Ray render of 3ds Max, and that was for a character. So like that was a bit struggling. I was very new to Blender, and from that phase I started learning Blender, and right now like you can see the result, and you will see rest of the things in upcoming sessions, that what can be done in Blender and how easily you can handle it. Once you start using it, you will be frequent. Right now, if I jump right now to 3ds Max, I might be slower than Blender, but in Blender, like, it's very handy, and I will recommend use Blender existing setting itself instead of installing some Maya shortcut or 3ds Max shortcut keys for Blender or a script for Blender. I have done that also. Initially I did install Maya, some script for Maya shortcuts, and that was still struggling. Like I was not this much frequent, but when I decided no, I have to use the Blender shortcuts itself, the default one, and I started using it, and things are far better than those things. Hope you like this session, and you don't have to worry about that perspective plotter, since this is a real-time live session, so I cannot skip those parts. So wherever I will struggle, you will have to be bit uh, cautious over there and pass. You will have to bear with me, because in real time when you will work, you will also struggle in many cases. So I want you to understand that in real scenario also people struggle. It is not like I have recorded something and things are scripted and edited, and when you are looking at the tutorial, oh, you are thinking that you are not capable of doing the same thing with same flow, same speed. You are making a lot of mistake. Basically my goal here is to see how we work in real time. I'm having a good experience of the industry, but still I struggle in many scenario. So mistakes are the parts of life. So you don't have to be hopeless that you are struggling a lot. See how I am struggling. So if you are new, you might struggle a bit more, or you might be faster than me once you are like familiar with the things. So that's what the goal here. Anyway, I think time to wrap up the session for today. Thank you everyone.